Welcome to the channel. I'm Tony the Technician. Today we're going to be going into the Amazon tool deals for the week, and we're going to be discussing some of the items that I've found. These are either going to be items that are on sale, items that even at their full price or list price I believe to be good deals, and items I find interesting and would like your guys' input on if you guys have used them. All of these items will be linked down in the description for you guys if you guys are interested. They'll all have their own independent links, so they're very easy to find. And then I'll have two additional links that says tools and tools continued. Those are going to be two links that take you to a long list of tools that I've went over in the past or other tools that I suggest. So that's all there for you guys. So first up is an item that I don't have any experience with, a brand that I don't have any experience with. I've heard them mentioned a couple times from other review channels. And saw this deal and thought it was pretty good. So I figured I'd mention it. I am running a software to check prices of other locations on any of the items that we look at here on Amazon, and it will also show me previous pricing. This specific item does not show any previous pricing, but this is from Toolant, and this is a 4-piece flex head ratchet set. It's going to include all 3 drive sizes, and then you're going to get a stubby 3/8 as well. So it's basically like my Gearwrench semi-locking 120XP set that I bought many years ago. This is $100, but it does have a 15% coupon, so pretty good savings there. Get this at around $85. And this has 4.5 stars at 101 ratings. I don't think it's been on here too long. I've heard of Toolant, however you want to say it. Never used them. And, I just came across it and thought it was a pretty interesting little kit. So you get this EVA foam organizer, and it is a semi-locking flex head, just like my Gearwrench set. I like the overall shape of it. I can't really tell if they're, thick like your more generic ratchets. I think it's kind of in between those old generic 72 tooth bulky ratchets and some more slimmer ones. I think it falls right in between there. Not too thick, not too thin. But I like what's included. You get some extra length on your 3 drive sizes, and then you get the stubby 3/8. Exact same setup as my 120XP set, just laid out in this organizer a little bit different. Now, I would say they could have kept this organizer a little bit smaller. I like EVA foam organizers, but I understand it's not for everyone, and it's not always ideal, I guess, or justifiable as far as space savings. If you have the space, the organizers are great. If not, some of them do take up quite a bit of space. I like the overall design. This is what I was talking about. So your more generic design. And then here, this is what a lot of the kind of mid-tier to higher tier ratchet heads are shaped. It's kind of like that teardrop shape. But there have been a few brands that are going with this kind of parallel design. I guess there's still a little bit of a taper to it, but not nearly as much as like the teardrop over here. And I like that. The newer Gearwrench ratchets are like that, and I kind of like that design. It's very sleek. The reverse switch is not recessed, but it does seem to be a pretty low profile compared to some of the others out there. So I do like that. There you can see the width compared to some of the others. It is a 90 tooth gear, so it is a 4-degree arc swing, so I do like that. It's a sealed backing plate with the set screws on the drive side. 180 degrees of flex with 11 positions it can sit in. It says locking positions, but it's just a semi-locking. There is an actual a physical lock to it. There you can see the lengths of them. The 1/4 inch is 7 inches, the 3/8 is 12 inches, and the 1/2 inch drive is 17 inches. And then the 3/8 stubby is going to be 4.6, so just under 5 inches, about 4 3/4. They even show you the height and width of them, so you can actually see the thickness. So I do like that. They're actually providing a pretty decent amount of information on this, especially for, more of a Amazon brand tool company, if that's what you want to call it. I do like that they're not like super photoshopping people holding these and like using them in stupid situations. That's what you usually find that these Amazon or these no-name, never heard of brands on Amazon. They just Photoshop a bunch of stuff. At least these pictures are just providing us with the information of the tools and just getting the point across. So I do like that. And I think for $85 with that coupon applied, I think that's a good deal. You can buy them individually. There you can see the pricing of each. The 1/2 inch at $35, 1/4 inch at $20, 3/8 at $28, and the stubby at $24. So you're saving $5 to $10 by buying it in the set over buying them all individually. But if you would want to try one out, it might be cheaper to just buy the one and try it out. But I do like the knurling and stuff. I like the overall head design, the semi-locking position setup, the knurling on the handle. Overall, I think it's a really good design. I just hope that they're actually a pretty decent ratchet. If you guys have any experience with these, please let me know down in the comments. Okay, so next up is the Gearwrench rechargeable pen light, and there are tons and tons and tons of brands out there and brands that you've never heard of that sell pen lights. I just like this one, and this one does go on sale pretty often. This one, unfortunately, right now is not on sale, but it will be going on sale. It's pretty common for it to go on sale, and just in 2025, it's spent more time on sale than it has at this full price. So it may be on sale when you guys watch this. And if it's not, check back the next day. It might be back on sale. So it's been on sale this year as low as $20.99. Actually, I see it here for $18 back on March 21st. And I mean, it was at $21 for quite a while. And I think that's a fantastic price. Even at the basically $30 price range, I think it's a good price. The $20 range is fantastic. And the 36, it's not a horrible price, but when you know you can get it, between $20 and $30, that's when it's a real good buy. This has 4.8 stars at 29 ratings. It does have a magnetic pocket clip. There you can see the USB-C recharging port, 2 lighting modes, flood and flashlight, integrated dimming function, 2 integrated lights, rotating magnetic pocket clip, and rechargeable battery. There are some out there that do get quite expensive. I was actually going to mention one of the Olight ones, and it was on sale right before this as well, where I don't believe it is a good deal at all when it's not on sale, when it is. So when I come across it when it's on sale again, I'll probably mention that Olight, but I think at its full price, it's definitely not worth it. So this is the one that I landed on, but there are tons of other rechargeable pen lights out there that are good options. I just figured I'd mention this is a good one to keep an eye on if you can pick it up for around that $20 to $25, $26 price range. Next up, we're looking at the Skil 120-piece drill and screw driving set. This is a bit set, and I don't have a whole lot of Skil products, but I thought this was a good deal at $20 if you're a weekend warrior DIYer that just wants to have a bulk of some of these around that you don't really require, high end, or maybe you want a beater set that you're not really going to be upset with if, they don't last or they get lost or beat up, whatever it may be. I think for $20 for this size set isn't a bad deal at all. There's pretty good assortment of different bits and drill bits in here. As you can see, there are tons of different options. You got your stubby bits and your whatever you want to call them, 2-inch bits. They call them their 2-inch power bits. It's extremely hard to read this. It is extremely fuzzy, and I don't know why. You do have a universal magnetic bit grip collar. But I think at the $20, down from a list price of $30, it's a good deal. 4.6 stars, 1,277 ratings. I'm not saying this is a super high quality set. It's not, but it's a good assortment of bits and drill bits for a very cheap price. And within the last year, the lowest the price has been on this reliably, well, it says in February of 25 it was down to $7.09. I'm not sure if that's here on Amazon or if it was located somewhere else, and I don't know if that's a reliable source, but majority of the time it is at $20. It is very rarely at its full price. Sometimes it float around $27 and upwards of that full price, $30. But more often than not, you're going to find it at this $20 price range, which I think is a good deal. Let me know your guys' thoughts. Last up for this week, we're looking at the 29-piece Labear 1/4-inch drive ratchet bit and socket set. So last week, I also included a different style of set just like this from Labear. A little bit different style ratchet design and things included. But that one was, I think, mid-40s. And I think it's a good design. I think it's a really nice little set. It usually goes on sale for around this price. So I think both are really good options. Labear isn't a brand I have a lot of experience with. I've reviewed their little mini EDC folding bit ratchet, and it's just a brand that I kind of keep my eye on because their pricing is decent and they don't have a whole lot of options as far as what they offer, but what they do have are some pretty nice little sets. So I just keep my eye on them just because. And I thought this was a pretty nice little set. It does have 3.6 stars at 8 ratings. I'm not sure exactly why. Let's see what the bad review is. It would absolutely be perfect except for 2 issues. Wow, that's a great review, Tattoo Dan. Let's start off single star for which is its eye. Legitimate reason. Good stuff. Everybody else seems to be happy with it that they reviewed it. Let's just quickly take a closer look at it. So here you have your bit ratchet. You have a flex head, and it is a locking flex head. Here you can see the push button on it. It is reversible. There you can see that kind of reminds me of the old Easy Red double box end ratcheting wrenches that I have. Has this same reverse switch. I like the little sockets that are included. You got 4, 5, 5.5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So no skips, and you do get that half size for the 5.5. And just the bare bones as far as bits, which I am perfectly okay with. You have a bit adapter here to use the sockets. Then you have some Phillips, 1, 2, and 3. You get some Allens, you get some Torx, and then you get a few slotted as well. And then here you also have the extension collar here for bits and sockets. There you can see a 2-in-1, which I have one from Aries. It's probably a little bit higher quality than this one, but it's still a great little adapter for throwing in an impact driver or drill. You can throw bits or sockets on it. And I do believe the bottom of this ratchet is also a bit holder as well, a magnetic bit holder. I could be wrong, but I believe I'm right. Here you can see that. It is magnetic, which I do like. I think that's probably the only... I do like spline drive, but I like spline drive from reliable brands that I've used, and spline drive can be really, really handy, but if you get a lower quality spline drive, it could really put a bad taste in your mouth for spline drive. And so I think if you're wanting to try out spline drive, make sure you get a good brand. Now this could be good, but I don't have any experience with it, so I can't say how the spline drive is on this. It says 12 point, but that does not look like 12 point to me. That looks more like spline drive. At $37, I think it's a good little set, but its average price is $41. It sits at this $37 a lot. Every once in a while, you'll catch it as low as the $31 to $32 price range. So I think at $36, it's fair. It's very comparable to other sets like this from other brands. So let me know your guys' thoughts if you guys have tried any of the Labear stuff. I've tried a couple of them. I've enjoyed them. They don't have a whole lot, but that's it as far as this week's Amazon tool deals. Once again, all of these will be linked down in the description for you guys if you guys are interested. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to smash that thumbs up. And if you guys haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.